And go ahead, gentlemen. Yeah, he just stuck his hand out there to let me know they were ready. And the match is on. I don't expect to have quite as many people as we did for regionals. But I mean, I hope to get, I don't know, like 25-ish viewers. Be sure to tell all your friends that they should come watch the show right now. This should be an interesting match. The Y-Wings just kind of inch forward, probably wondering where the scum is going to be heading. Guri takes a 1 straight and then a barrel roll. Looks like she might be trying to block Boba so he doesn't go very fast here on the first turn. Also trying to feel out where those Y-Wings are going. Or where Dash is going, more than likely. Interesting build here on Dash. Pretty typical heavy laser cannon super Dash, except that he does not have engine upgrade. And Boba Fett does exactly what I thought. He just slides forward a millimeter right behind Guri there. And, sorry, I forgot to put the score up here. There we go. We got a scoreboard, 100, currently 100 to 100. I am not on the SoCal Facebook group, but if I also, maybe I'll look it up, or if you give me the URL or something, you'll see my posts about this show every Wednesday night. Or every other Wednesday night, excuse me. Our next stream is going to be on June 24th with 2 more featured X-Wing games. And we will also, the plan is to do some sort of epic kind of show. We got to find a way to fit an entire epic table on the screen, but when the Raider finally comes out, I would like to do a pretty awesome Rebels versus Empire epic match here on the show. We probably do, that'll be the only thing we do that Wednesday night, because I expect that would take a rather long time. Y-Wings and Guri move slowly towards one another. Dash Rendar takes a 1 bank into the obstacles and then barrel rolls to his left. Measures for a target lock there. Is a little bit out of range. And he will push the limit for focus. And Boba Fett just inches forward right behind Guri. Those Y-Wings really need to turn away, in my opinion. They don't want to be jousting with all of that, with both of those ships' firepower. And if anyone doesn't know, be sure to look at the ticker down at the bottom to vote on the list you would like me to play in our 3rd match of the evening. We're going to do a bonus match like we have in some other shows, but this time I'm going to let you choose the list I'm going to play instead of me just kind of throwing it together in the last minute. Sputnik lock, it's certainly enough to have some fun with friends, but the starter kit does not give you a full 100-point tournament or competitive squad. However, you can absolutely get a competitive list in this game for less than $100, which isn't really something you can say for a lot of games. Not even some other games that Fantasy Flight has. Like Star Wars Armada is really expensive compared to this game. But yeah, you can certainly have some fun with a buddy if you just get the core set. But if you plan to play, or if you'd like to see what the 100-point experience is, you'll definitely need to invest in a couple more ships. And here we go. Those gold squads are going to take a 3-bank and bank left and break left. At least the first one does. We'll see where gold 1 goes. But I'd expect him to do the same. Should I say him or her? Is it sexist to assume that the Gold Squadron pilots are males? I don't know. Probably not. Actually, probably is, but I'm going to do it anyway. Guri is, of course, a female. He's Prince Zizor's personal bodyguard and sex toy. Being a droid, of course, human... I forget what they call it in Star Wars, but it's an android that looks like a human. Audio Weasel, Armada isn't really my kind of game. It has too many rules for me, and it's too expensive, and it's just got a lot of things going on. And, like, maybe I'm weird, but I don't like the idea that one player being cleared from the table isn't a likely outcome from an Armada match. It's something that just doesn't happen a whole lot. And even if X-Wing had objectives, I think it would happen a lot in an X-Wing game. Guri is going to advance sensors to barrel roll and to her right, and then take a target lock on Gold Squadron 1 shortly after taking a 1 straight ahead, which is a green maneuver, clearing that stress from push the limit. If you'd like to hear some things about Armada, go to www.tabletopgeneral.com. He's, of course, the left side player right now, and he has a lot of great things to say about Armada. Like it's absolutely a good game. It's just not really my style. But I'm not trying to discount Armada as an awesome product, because it absolutely is, and you can the Tabletop General has a lot of good things to say about it if you're interested in that. Dash takes a 1 bank, followed by a barrel roll onto that debris field, and he chooses to ignore it because that's what he does. And will then measure for a target lock. Pushes the limit for a target lock onto Guri. Wow, all 3 Rebel ships have target locks on Guri. However, it only looks like Gold 1 and Dash are going to be able to shoot, because Gold 2 was probably outside range 2 for that ion cannon turret. Okay, and now I'm seeing Boba Fett boost forward to guarantee he's at range 1. Maybe take a 1 bank boost to avoid fire from that heavy laser cannon. Oh, Boba's just going to... I think he's probably decided he is at range 1. He didn't need to boost to make sure, so he's going to take a double focus and evade with Push the Limit and Recon Specialist. And that is, in fact, barely inside range 1, so Boba Fett is immune to Dash Rendar's heavy laser cannon. Okay, 4 dice on Dash from Boba Fett. Focus for 4 hits against Dash Rendar from Boba Fett. Looks like 1 evade. And 3 damage go through on Dash. That takes him down to 2 shields. Dash is, of course, going to get the next shot. I'm going to guess heavy laser cannon against Guri, because that's who he has target lock. Way out at range 3, but it's irrelevant because it's a secondary weapon. Looks like 2 hits. Spins target lock. Becomes 2 eyeballs, and he will focus for 4 hits against Guri. Looks like 2 evades. And 2 evades and 2 damage against the droid, against Guri. Didn't even trigger auto thrusters because he got two evades and a focus result. Okay, it's going to be Guri, range 2 against Gold Squadron. Target locks or reroll 2 dice. And that is, looks like 2 hits and a crit. And 3 shields down on Gold Squadron number 1. Measures to attack Guri from Gold 2. Turns out she is, in fact, in range of that ion cannon. But is she or Boba Fett the better target? He's probably going to go with Guri because he has 2 target locks on Guri. Two hits and a blank. Will spin the target lock to reroll that 3rd die to get a hit. 3 hits on Guri. And completely evaded with 2 evades and an auto thruster conversion. Oh, negative. I'm sorry. He did not evade it. So that is 1 more damage and an ion token on Guri. And Gold Squadron attacking same target, I assume. Looks like 2 hits and a focus. We'll spin the target lock to reroll. 2 hits. Auto thrusters conversion, but will not evade that 3rd ion, or that 2nd ion damage. So Guri in the first turn down to 1 hull. And 2nd ion token, but the second token's irrelevant, so he might not bother with it. Who are you guys calling for this match? Who do you think's gonna win? Warpig 609 is calling the Economist is going to win. Probably. It seems pretty, or it seems like that might be the case. But you never know. James is a pro. Then again, the Economist is pretty good too. Gold 1 takes a 1 bank. Probably a focus for a target lock. Yeah, there's a focus going to take that extra, or that 2nd ion cannon shot at Guri. And Gold 2 also takes a bank maneuver. And a focus token. Now, Guri obviously has an ion token, so she will take a 1 straight ahead, removing that ion token. She does still get an action here, 2, if she chooses to. Guri will barrel roll down toward the table edge. Not a bad decision there. Trying to get out of range of that ion cannon turret. And she will push the limit for focus. I almost think if he had boosted just straight ahead, he might have gotten out of range if he's not already. Dash Rendar takes a one bank, turning away from Boba Fett. Of course, that clears his stress, giving him a focus token from Kyle Katarn. But Audio Weasel, does he want to stay near those Y-Wings and take a lot of ion damage? He would get 2 rerolls all the time. He'd also get 2 ion tokens, almost all the time. And Dash will take a target lock onto Boba Fett. And Boba will pop inertial dampeners to stay still. And Boba taking a range 1 attack at Dash Rendar. Looks like 1 hit. 3 rerolls converted to 2 hits. 1 evade. 2 evades. Wow, Dash gets out of the way of Boba's attack. Looks like Dash isn't going to get a shot here, unfortunately. Gold 1 does still have Guri out at range 2 with that ion cannon turret. But Guri is focused and will have an auto thrusters conversion. Three blanks, gold primary against Boba Fett. Now gold 1 will ion cannon turret at Guri. And will focus for 3 hits. Guri's got to get 3 evades or she's out. And that will be 1 auto thruster conversion and a dead Guri. Gold number 2 will take a 2 bank or a 1 bank to his right. I'm definitely seeing a proton bomb deployed here. That gold 2 may be out of range of it. We'll see where gold 1 goes, though, because he can't do that one bank or he bump, which might actually put him within range of the proton bomb anyway. And he attempts also to do a one bank, so he's going to run into the side of Boba Fett. I'm seeing a proton bomb deployed here from the bounty hunter. That's going to put a crit onto Gold Squadron 1, of course. Then again, the general may decide that he doesn't want to do that, but we'll see how it goes. And then Dash Rendar is going to take a 2-turn to his left. And then we'll attempt to barrel roll very close to Boba Fett. Now would be a perfect time for that proton bomb. A little confusion over stress token there, but they both belong to Boba Fett. And Dash will push the limit for a focus token. And we were right. Boba Fett is going to deploy a proton bomb. That's going to hit Gold 1 and Dash Rendar. Potentially Gold 2, but I think he's going to be out of range. In fact, pretty certain that Gold 2 is going to be out of range. And then Boba takes 2 straight. Looks like he's going to just skip over that Gold Squadron pilot there. And he does. And the gold number 1 is going to take a face-up damage card, as is Dash Rendar. And give me just 1 second, I'll find out what those cards are. It's going to be a direct hit on Gold Squadron Pilot 2 and a damaged cockpit on Dash Rendar. On Gold Squadron Pilot 1, excuse me. So that puts Gold 1 down to 3 hull. And Dash takes 1 hull damage, but still has shield remaining. And attacks are about to happen here. Looks like Boba Fett is going to be range 1 on his choice of either Dash or Boba. He's going to take range 1 on Dash Rendar. Or range 1 on. Okay, looks like 2 hits and 2 focus tokens. He's going to take 2 rerolls. And looks like 3 hits and a crit. Dash will focus to cancel 1 damage and take his 2 remaining shield. And Dash takes another crit. That is a damaged engine on Dash Rendar now. Dash is reduced to 3 hull points. No, Warpig, he used the bomb last turn. Gold 2 takes a range 1 primary on Boba Fett, who blanks up and then takes... oh, excuse me, it is an ion cannon turret shot. So, cancels 1 of 2 hits. Boba takes 1 damage and an ion token. Second Y-Wing, same target. 3 hits, native, without modification from an ion cannon turret on Boba Fett. Who will take another shield damage and another ion token, which of course means Boba is just going to drift forward. PD Bendurfer, their proton bombs are available in the TIE bomber, and I know I'm almost sure they're available in something else. Tell us, guys, where do proton bombs come from? I know they come from the TIE bomber. That's where they originated, but I think they're in other ships as well since the TIE bomber. Dash Rindar moving at pilot skill 0 because of that critical that he received last turn. Audio Weasel, I'm seeing that too. And he's stressed, so we won't be able to push the limit shenanigans and get away from those ion cannon turrets. By the way, thanks for tuning in. We got 17 people watching right now. I appreciate that. Also, anyone who has not voted yet, I'm running a poll down at the bottom of the screen. You'll see a ticker for the list that I'm going to be running in our bonus match. That will take place after our 2 featured matches are over. So probably starting about 10 p.m. But yeah, put in your votes based on the ticker down at the bottom, and we'll throw up a 3rd game after we're done. Gold 2 takes a 1 bank towards Boba and bumps. Gold 1 follows suit and will be able to take an action. A lot of tokens on the bounty hunter right now. Boba ion drifts onto that debris field, takes an additional stress token, but does not take a critical damage. Dash is going to take a range 3 heavy laser cannon shot back at Boba Fett. By the way, as usual, I want to send a shout out to John Riggins, who is responsible for painting our very pretty tables. Oh, you're absolutely right. Boba shot first. I had it confused based on asteroids versus debris fields. So it will be Boba's attack first. Looks like Boba is going to be range 2 at Gold Squadron 2. Gold Squadron 1, excuse me. 1 hit, 1 evade. Oh, maybe I guess they decided Dash is out of range. It's going to be 2 hits from Gold Squadron 2 against Boba with an ion turret. Spin a target lock, and 2 hits again. That is an ion token, and 1 more damage on the bounty hunter. and another ion token, and damage against Boba Fett. And Dash Rendar shooting at pilot skill 0. I also forgot about that. So he will spin a target lock to reroll. That's 4 hits against Boba Fett from Dash Rendar, who gets 2 evades and will sustain 2 damage. Okay. Dash will take a 2-turn, which is stressful because of a critical he has there. Gold Squadron 2 will take a 1 bank towards Boba Fett. And then Boba's going to take 1 straight, land on that that debris field again, will not take a damage, but will take another stress. Boba Fett, range 2 on Gold Squad Pilot 1. 1 hit and 1 damage. That's a crit. That's a weapon malfunction on Gold Squadron Pilot 1. That puts him down to 2 hull remaining. Gold 1 rolls an ion attack for 2 hits. That deals 1 damage and 1 ion token to Boba Fett. Gold Squadron 2 will spin a target lock for 2 hits against Boba Fett. Looks like that attack is evaded. So Boba's gonna get a chance to maybe get out of the way of those ion cannons. Everyone be sure to vote for our last, for our bonus match after our 2 featured matches, and also like all of our social media up there at the top. You'll see our Twitch channel, which you're sitting on right now. You'll also see our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our website, I think. There's going to be a small change with our second match. That handsome Nick is had to drop out, but we're going to have another newcomer. So it's going to be two guys we've never seen on the show before. It's going to be fun. Dash takes a barrel roll to try to maintain range on Boba Fett. We'll measure for a target lock. And we'll acquire a target lock on Boba Fett at long range. I'm seeing another proton bomb from Boba Fett this turn. Oh, also, I didn't mark the first proton bomb as spent, so I'll do so now. No damage, but a stress on gold 1, or excuse me, gold 2, as he lands on that debris field. And gold 1 will tuck in right behind him. Looks like gold 1's going to bump. And the economist removes gold 1 from his base just to make sure that the bases are in contact. Yeah, just kind of a lazy strowing of a proton bomb there, only because it's absolutely certain both of those Y-Wings are going to be hit by it. And then Boba will take a hard 2 to avoid that table edge. However, he still has 3 stress tokens. And 1 ion token. So if he takes another ion damage, he might be off the table. That proton bomb goes off. Doesn't look like a direct hit on gold 1. That's going to put gold 1 down to 1 hull. Receives a stress token and flips it down. Gold number 2 sustains 1 hull damage, which causes him to discard a secondary weapon. That hurts on a Y-Wing. And gold 1 might be out of range with that ion cannon. We'll see. Gold 1 is out of range. Gold 2 just discarded his ion cannon, so he's going to have to take a primary weapon attack at Boba Fett. And a whiff from Gold Squadron 2 against Boba Fett. Another primary attack from Gold 1 at Boba Fett, obstructed at range 3, who evades the shot with no problem. And dial's going down. Things just got a lot better for Boba Fett here. He and Dash are both down at 3 hull. Boba's going to fire first every turn. And one of the Gold Squadron pilots only has one hull left. The other Gold Squadron pilot has been forced to discard his ion cannon turret. So Boba might have this one, or we might see the Y-wings and Dash pull it through. I guess the moral of my long story here is it just got a lot closer than it has been. Dash Rendar taking a 4 straight onto a debris field, which is irrelevant to him. Of course, moving at pilot skill 0 because of a critical damage card that he received. And he will barrel roll to the right. Gold Squadron 2 takes a R-turn maneuver, goes through to that debris field again, but gets up close and personal with Boba Fett. Audio Weasel, I didn't say it was 1, I said it was closer. We'll see how it goes at this point. Yeah, those Y-wings take a 2 hard turn toward the edge, trying to keep Boba Fett in sight of their primary weapons when he inevitably has to turn down the table. Boba takes a 2-turn, looks like the Y-wing might block him. Or not. Looks like they've decided that is a fit. Or Boba definitely fits, but that puts him at range 1 of 2 Y-wings. One hit from a Y-wing, and then 2 of 8. Second Y-wing, range 1. And 1 hit again. Followed by 2 of 8s from Boba Fett. So Boba Fett gets by that turn with no damage. I'm probably seeing if he only had 1 stress, I'd say a 2 straight and then a bank toward the table center. But he might just go 4 straight ahead because he's not likely to get rid of those stress tokens anytime soon. Or maybe a 3 bank toward the table center. Dash Rendar takes a 1 hard turn toward the firefight. Receives a stress token. because he performed a hard turn maneuver. Y-Wings are going nowhere because they, like, almost inevitably would have bumped Boba Fett. Move that out of the way for now. He took a 2 straight toward the bottom of the screen, allowing him to clear one of the stress tokens. Determining range. It's range 1 on 2 Y-Wings. They're probably deciding which one he can shoot. Two rerolls. 2 hits from Boba on Gold Squadron 1. And no evade. So Gold 1 is out of the picture. Score becomes 60 versus 77. And dials are up. I'm thinking Dash is just going to bank in and barrel roll to try to maintain range on Boba Fett, who still has to clear some stress. Gold 2 is going to take a 2 hard turn to pursue Boba, but has to shoot with his primary. Boba is either going to keep skirting down the screen or try to avoid shots from one of the 2 ships by going really fast or banking inwards. Dash does exactly that. He takes a 1 bank and then a barrel roll to his left to try to maintain range on Boba Fett. He will then push the limit for focus token. Gold Squadron number 2 takes a 2 hard turn in pursuit of the bounty hunter. Boba takes a 2 turn maneuver. Tries to avoid arc from Gold Squadron 2. Not sure he succeeded, but it looks like he also might be within range 1 of Dash Rendar. And he is within range 1 of Dash, so it makes him safe from that heavy laser cannon and gives him a lovely range 1 attack. It's going to be 4 dice. I see 3 hits against Dash. 2 evades, 1 damage. 1 crit. That looks like a direct hit. A direct hit. That is, in fact, a direct hit, putting Dash at 1 hull. Gold Squadron 2 does have Dash in range. Took the dice off pretty fast there. Looked like a complete whiff. Audio Weasel, the tabletop general is always on top of his maneuvering. the list he plays the most often is triple interceptors, and you absolutely cannot make a mistake to, with that list to win games, especially in the turret heavy meta. If I were the Rebel player here, I'd try just to move in and block Boba with dash and then pursue with that gold squad. But we'll see how the economist handles the situation. He will actually bank away. And this is why I'm not good, because I wouldn't have guessed that was about what was about to happen. Gold Squadron Pilot 2 taking a 2-turn in pursuit of Boba Fett. If Boba takes another 2 hard, oh, Boba banked away. That's probably what I would have done there, but puts him in not so good a position. Removes the ion token there because it's at this point in the game it's irrelevant because Gold Squadron 2 no longer has the ability to fire an ion cannon. Boba Fett shooting Dash Rendar at range 2, but it is obstructed. All right, the general needs a dice here. Looks like 1 hit. And evaded. Gold Squadron range 2 on Boba. And that is a whiff. And Dash Rendar. Focused and target locked. Heavy laser cannon against Boba Fett. Will spin target locks or reroll 2 dice after a hit of focus and 2 blanks. Focus for 4 hits. Boba has to get something. He has to get 2 or he's out. 2 evades or Boba's dead. And that's the match. Boba takes 3 damage from heavy laser cannon and is out. I'll give them a minute to clean up. What did you guys think about the match here? This is a great game. It got a lot close. It got pretty close there at the end. It seemed like a lot of fun. Oh, and they're knocking. Yeah, James is going to come and say hello. The tabletop general is going to come chat with us. Now he's making fun of the office because it's a lot cleaner right now than it usually is. What's up, General? How would you, using a fire spray, or I guess using a Star Viper, which nobody seems to do nowadays. How would you start? What are your thoughts starting a match against a Dash list?
All right, so against Dash and the 2 turret Y-Wings, I felt really good about Guri having her auto thrusters and being able to dodge out of at least the Y-Wings arcs pretty easily. Yeah, that didn't happen. Guri died way too easily, way too early in that game.
Ion cannons, yo.
Ion cannons that, with a target lock, never seem to roll less than 3 hits. When they rolled 2 hits, I managed 1 evade. It was every time I had 1 less evade than I needed, and it was so frustrating to watch Guri just go down in flames so fast. Because if she sticks around 1, maybe 2 more turns, that's a completely different game. Meanwhile, I also can't evade ion cannon shots with Boba Fett either.
They were thinking you were going to take a nice long stroll off a short table.
Yeah, me too. I was really happy to finally pull one out and be able to...
With 3 stress tokens.
With 3 stress tokens, riding right over that debris field. And it was burning me up because when you're ionized, you aren't revealing a maneuver dial. When you aren't revealing a maneuver dial, you can't drop a bomb. So I'm sitting there riding along with that proton bomb, the second one, and thinking this will be a great time to drop that. Oh, wait, I can't. This will be a great time to drop that. Oh, wait, I can't. But in the course of a game, I hit 4 different chips with a proton bomb. I'm okay with that.
And we were actually, some of the play, at least me, I don't know about how the viewers love it, but like after that second proton bomb went off, you had 1 Y-Wing with like 1 hull left, and the other Y-Wing lost its ion turret. So it was like, and then like Dash was pretty low. So at least I felt like it got a lot closer in your favor than it had been for a couple of turns. Like, were you, did you feel a turn in the tide there or something? Like, how'd you feel at that moment?
Right, so yeah, I definitely felt like the tide was turning and like there was a light at the end of the tunnel. I just had to survive just the 1 or 2 more turns. I needed 1 more turn. I needed to get that last stress token off, and that game changes completely. Then I open up, I can boost again, I can evade, I can do my double focus with Recon Specialist, I can do 2 at a time. Because I don't have to worry about the ion anymore. The ions were completely gone, and I had a higher pilot skill than anything else on the table. I could pick and choose my shot, but it just wasn't meant to be. We knew right then and there that either I was going to kill Dash that turn, because he only had 1 hit point left, or Dash was going to survive that attack, and there was no way I was going to avoid the focus and target lock heavy laser cannon. And I knew it was going to at least hit me, and of course it gets 4 damage. I only evade.
You did. We were kind of guessing that maybe you'd skirt the edge and like dive down pretty fast, but you did a really pro maneuver. Like you did that 2 turn at just the right time to get within the donut, and then I guess the next turn maybe you predicted because I didn't see Dash going the opposite way like he did. So I thought maybe he would turn into you, and then after that 1 bank, you'd still be within the donut. That wasn't the case, unfortunately. But it's like, I want to give props to you. I didn't see you doing that 2 turn. I thought maybe you'd either go really fast or try to clear a stress. And you moved into that, and you got another turn out of it. So just, good thinking there. I didn't see that. What do you viewers? You got anything to ask the general? Any closing thoughts? Things you might have done differently along the way, or next time you see a Dash list?
Well, one thing that I was talking with several guys before the match, including Spommer, who's, he loves himself some fire sprays. I was really up in the air about push the limit on Boba. I really like the ability to use both the Recon Specialist and the engine upgrade in the same turn, because otherwise you feel like, 3 or 4 points are being wasted of upgrades on that ship every turn. I don't like paying 3 or 4 points for an option. I want something that I plan on using. But I was never really able to use either one of them throughout that game just because of the way those debris fields lined up. And I feel like debris fields are having a bigger and bigger impact on my games. Just side note there. But as much as I did like the fact that, I wasn't able to use push the limit more than once in that game. I wasn't able to use the recon specialist more than once in that game. I wasn't able to use the engine upgrade all that often. I think I used it maybe twice total. It helped me out a lot more in this match than Veteran Instincts would have, which was kind of the other choice, because he'd already had the highest pilot skill on the table. But I do think that entering a tournament situation, I would probably swap that out for Veteran Instincts and go ahead and just eat the points for the opportunity cost of either using the engine upgrade or using the recon specialist, and be able to keep myself stress-free, because I hadn't played a fire spray in a while. I'm used to interceptors or the aggressors. And I looked at the dial for the fire spray in our practice game before this, and I said, oh, dear Jeebus, there's not a whole lot of greens here. And I felt really, really limited as to what I could do after I did a push limit. In this case, it didn't matter, because I never got a chance to do anything because I can't avoid ion cannons. Dice, shame. But yeah, on the whole, I felt like that was a much better game than I expected it to be. And that happened with the previous game that I played with this list as well, where the first couple of turns I'm thinking, okay, this is going to work out fairly well. And then there's something that happens that makes you go, oh, I should never have played this game. This is gonna keep me up all night tonight. But
like getting ioned over a free field repeatedly.
Right, and I was just thinking, there's nothing I could do here. The only thing that would potentially have been worse there is if it was actually an asteroid and I just couldn't even shoot, and still dealing with the same stuff. But in this case, I was actually, able to survive getting through that. Those range 1 rerolls are epic when I get them. And all of a sudden, the sky opens up, and suddenly things look really good. I got some really lucky crits in there. That damaged engine on Dash was invaluable. It kept him out of the fight for so long. And being able to knock off the turret from one of the Y-Wings and get the other Y-Wing's health so low, I feel good about that. Also, with the proton bombs, it's not often that you're seeing Y-Wings right now. Not a lot of ships that you're going to see multiples of are going to have something like 5 hull points in there. You're going to run into instances where that proton bomb can kill a ship, especially like E-Wings. Seriously, 1-hit kill.
You have like a 1 in 4 chance of popping a ship that costs close to 40 points. That's a thing.
Yes. So, all in all, I'm happy with the proton bombs. I'm happy with the way the list has performed for me. I do kind of feel iffy about the push the limit for Veteran Instincts, maybe free up a couple more points either to throw something else on the Guri, or, I don't know, slip in a seismic charge. Who knows?
We, Audio Weasel asked, have you run Emon yet? There's an interesting story there, I feel.
Why, yes. Yes, I have run Emon before, on this very show. There's some recordings of it out on the interwebs somewhere. I suppose we can find it.
At the top of your screen here, go to the link in the YouTube channel, or just go to YouTube and search North Atlanta Game Company, and you will see probably a couple of months back, he played Emon on the show.
Right. So I'm always happy to run anything that's suggested, if nothing else, just as a challenge to make myself more aware of what this can do. But me and Scum and Fire Sprays, they don't seem to go so well together. The game in question, I brought Eamon and an IG, roughly at 50 points each. And Eamon kind of hit every asteroid he could on that field. I flew that Fire Spray so poorly. And
you did a lot better with your fire spray tonight.
I did. Because I could still shoot on these debris. But that IG carried the day, and it was kind of IG versus the rest of the list. I think I won that one. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look at the recording of that. Right. And I don't remember either. And I'm glad that I have that recording that I can go back and look at. So thank you, sir.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to grab The Economist, as always. Thank you for coming on the show. And then about 10 minutes or so, we'll get another game up here. I have a change of plans. That handsome Nick had to drop out, so we're going to have a double, like an Empire versus Empire list in the second match. or a match in a game in the second match only because he had an emergency he had to take care of. But that is have a seat. Wave to the internet. Yeah, let's inch forward here. So what's up? What are you thinking when you see a Star Viper on the other side of the table? First of all, it's not a very common thing.
Yeah, so I've flown the Star Viper a couple of times myself, but I've only done Shizor. So I'm not that familiar with it. I'm particularly not familiar with Guri because I haven't flown against her very much. But
his Guri's ability never triggered in this particular because you were pro with those ion cannons.
Yeah, so fortunately, I'm not too afraid of like interceptors or Star Vipers with this particular list because I've got 3 turrets. So I wasn't too intimidated by the Star Viper in this case because my basic goal was to get the ions within range 1 and 2 and then try and hit her with Guri. I figured if I got relatively decent dice rolls, I could take her out one round, assuming I could line up all my shots properly.
And it turned out that way. Did Boba cause you any grief along the way? It seemed like you got Guri out early. But then after a couple of those proton bombs, it's like it looked like your game for a while, and then it looked like it could go either way. Like it was going to be an uphill battle for him regardless. But you had one Y-wing pretty low, and then you lost an ion cannon. What are you thinking in that moment?
We said about 10 minutes before the game ends, like, wow, this could actually go either way at this point. So so around the time when his slave was facing the edge of the board, had like 3 stress tokens and a bunch of ions, and I was riding his tail with those 2 Y-wings. I kind of thought the game was over at that point, but
so did a lot of the viewers. Speaking of which, anybody has a question for this guy? Throw it up in the chat, please.
So I thought I thought it was game over. I think I didn't have an action. And so he had 1 ion token, and I failed to get that last ion, so he could do a hard turn out of it. So I still thought the game was over because he had so many stress tokens. But unmodified Y-wing shots and can't do a whole lot, and because I had like 2 stress tokens on each of them, and on top of that, I lost my ion cannon turret on my
the one that had more hull remaining.
Yeah. So I still wasn't worried because I had Dash, but he was kind of off out of the game.
It looked like that damage engine kind of messed you up for a little while.
Yeah. So Dash, I haven't had that crit on Dash yet, but that's I would say, short of losing his secondary weapon, that's probably about the worst one you can get on Dash. But yeah, it was a pain.
So would you? Well, I know you won, but like, based on how the game unfolded, would you have done anything differently along the way?
I can't think of anything offhand. I think I set up my initial approach pretty well, and I think like once Guri was out, I felt pretty confident. In the second half of the game, I don't know. One thing I definitely should have done is paid more attention to Proton
bomb,
because he caught me off guard with those both times, and I knew he had them. But when you're playing and you're not used to playing with bombs, like, they can catch you off guard. That's what happened with me both times.
Bombs, in my experience, they are very good in the hands of a strong player, but they're very difficult to trigger.
Yeah, and James is a strong player, and he played those 2 bombs perfectly.
Also interesting, he played the Andrasta title on Boba Fett, which is a little unusual, but it was interesting. It was an interesting game to watch. At any rate.
Yeah, it's an interesting list. I don't think it's I think it's a strong list. I'd like to do a matchup. I'd like to get a rematch against him, actually, because it's an interesting list. I think that specific list, though, just generally 2 ship builds have a harder time against the Y-wing Dash list. So I've generally fared better against those.
How do you? That's a good question. If a little bit unrelated, Audio Weasel. How do you feel about episode 7? Or are you excited? Or you think it's gonna be a disaster? I don't know. What do you think?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
That's exactly what I say when there's a sequel of a movie that came out like decades ago.
Yeah, so I like J.J. Abrams. I don't know if he's necessarily the perfect director for a Star Wars movie, because I like the new Star Trek movies, but I'd be disappointed if that was the same tone that he struck in Episode 7. Like, I like the original trilogy because of the epic, the epic scope. I don't like a lot of, rapid fire, humorous dialogue. I like the scenes with like Yoda with force training, mysticism, kind of stuff. So I hope he strikes kind of a mystical tone.
I'm definitely excited too. It's like it could go either way, but I agree. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I would be surprised if it's worse than the prequels.
You'd have to try. You have to do that on purpose.
I'm optimistic. I think it's probably going to be good, but probably not as good as Zero.
And anyway, thank you for coming on the show. You played a good game, and I'd be happy to have you back.
Yeah, love to be back.
So yeah, thanks guys. We're gonna get our second match up here momentarily.